Hi, my name's Dorothy, and I just film short little videos about eating disorder recovery. I've been in recovery for 17 years. I've had a lot of ups and downs. At the beginning of my recovery, I didn't really want my recovery, so I didn't really think I had an issue. So I went to treatment, I regained all my weight. Mentally, I did not change, and I went home and I lost it all. Now, though, after multiple attempts of recovering for me, for actually wanting to recover, I have learned that you have to believe in yourself, and you can't always trust your ed brain, even though that it's so loud in your head. I do know from past experiences that when I have acted on my fear, that I tend to resort to more bad habits over time, and I lose more weight and I relapse. I'm trying to learn to take everything one day at a time and not to act on my fears. Just because you have a thought or a feeling does not mean that it's true. So for instance, say I think my meal plan, we added something and I'm like, oh, that's gonna make such a difference. I'm just gonna blow up and all this stuff. Just because I think that does not mean that it's true. So even if I think that, I can't act on it and be like, oh no, so I'm not gonna eat this if that's gonna happen. I'm not going to act on it. You don't need to act on it, because by acting on it, you're resorting to your eating disorder habits and you're never going to recover. Because if you keep on acting on your ed brain's thoughts, then you're just going to wind up in the same situation as before. So this past week, I challenged adding some more food to my meal plan. I'm not going to say how much or anything like that, but I was so worried about it, like so worried. I was like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And even though a part of me thought that might happen, another part of me was like, maybe nothing will happen. So I took the leap of faith and I actually did it for a whole week. And I have seen that nothing has happened. The one thing that has happened is that now I actually have food and I don't have to starve myself as long as before, because with me, I tend to hold most of my food intake at night. It makes me feel better to actually have a little treat, and it's like something that I look forward to every day. Also, I have seen that really like what my mind is telling me may happen is not really what's happening at all. I haven't changed at all after this past week. I actually feel better. I have a little bit more energy, and I'm not always ravenous when it comes to dinner time. So it's actually helped me. The one thing that I had to tell myself was that my nutrition recovery coach would not be telling me to add this snack and not add it earlier as well if it wasn't needed. If I didn't need extra food in my plan, if I didn't need to eat earlier, then she would have never recommended it for me. I tend to always think that someone is giving me a plan based on other people that they've been seeing. And so they're like, well, this worked for her, so this will work for you too, when they're not always thinking about me individually. Whereas this person is thinking about me individually. She knows all about my history and everything, and she knows where I'm at and what place I'm in. And so she knows what I need. She knows what my body needs. She's not going to let me blow up. So I need to trust in her. I'm paying her every month, so I just have to trust in that. And something I've learned is that even though you're feeling a fear, you don't need to act on it, and that you need to face your fears, even though if it feels awful, because half the time I do feel awful when doing it. Maybe I'll wake up prouder the next day, but while doing it, it's so tough. And today has been really tough for me because I've been trying to convince myself that I need to have this extra snack that we added my last session. And I just feel like I don't need it. I'm not that hungry, and I'm about to eat dinner, so why add it to my day? I don't know why it's so scary to me. I mean, I know why, because it's my ed telling me that I'm going to get fat and never stop eating, but that's not true. It's a planned set snack. I'm not just given like, oh, here's a big bag of chips, eat them all. Like, I have control of what I'm doing. I am conscious and aware of what I am doing. And seeing how last week nothing happened when I added food, I just had to believe and trust, just like I did last week, that adding this new part to my diet is not going to change anything. And that if I keep on doing it, it's going to get easier and eventually become a habit. Now, telling myself that is a lot more difficult than it seems. And I know most people have the same issues. Like, you believe it's not, like, you're different, you're an exception. And I don't know why I always think I'm an exception to everyone else. I just feel that way. And while I may not know why I feel that way, does not mean that I need to believe that truly. I can feel that, but still not act on it. That's basically my point, is just feel your feelings. Don't always act on them. Listen to others, that's why you have them. Trust. Hand over what you have to another person and just trust in them. You just have to. Write sticky notes all over your place if you have to. I mean, I sure have quite a lot of them, reminding me that it's okay to feel this way, but you just can't act on it. I have sticky notes saying, don't let fear hold you back. Take care of yourself, because a lot of times I will tend to take care of others, but not myself, and I neglect myself. My friends written things like, don't give up. Also things like, just because you may have had a slip up earlier or the day before does not mean that you're a failure, and does not mean that you have to get set back again today. You can change your actions today and move forward. Always think about the future, not the past, but live in the present more so. While you want to think about your future, think about all the good things that will happen with recovery. Don't try to think of all the things that you think or your ed brain thinks will happen. You can't do that, because that's going to sabotage your recovery. You also have to remember, every bite counts. Give yourself credit for what you've done. While maybe say you haven't accomplished everything you wanted to that week, if you've accomplished even one thing, maybe just adding like a little piece of something, like maybe a little piece of your bread that you were supposed to add this week, or you were supposed to cut down steps and you did this week, maybe only by like 5 or 6, but you did it a little bit. That is a reward that you need to be proud of, and you need to say, look, pat yourself on the back for that. Because I have trouble thinking it's either all or nothing. If I don't accomplish all my goals that week, then I didn't do anything. But that's not true. And my eating disorder recovery coach always tells me this. Like, even though I may not have accomplished all our goals set out for the week, if I have just accomplished one or made any small step forward, then that's progress, and I have to be proud of myself. You don't have to be perfect. Our eating disorders are fueled by being perfect, having the perfect amount of food, the perfect looking food, everything like that. And it's not true. You don't have to be perfect always. Your family loves you no matter if you're perfect or not. No one is perfect. You may fall back on some days, but just get back up. There's always going to be a bad day, but there's going to be good days too, and you just have to focus and remember that, and believe that you can do this. You just have to believe in yourself. And all times, when I don't believe in myself, I always tend to just think about that all day, and I'm like, ugh, I can't get better, this and that, and I think of all the negative things, and I forget to think about the positive things, and those are sometimes the things that can help the most. I also tend to want to stay alone when I'm not feeling well or feeling good about myself or anything. And I have found you need others in your life. others in your life help you. They can just lift your spirit. Even just going to the store sometimes. I know it's hard right now with COVID and everything, but even just going to the store or going to a bookstore and just seeing people, not even if you don't know them, just smiling at people and everything can help change your mood a little bit and not leaving you so feeling alone and by yourself. Isolation results in worse behaviors a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times. That's why they say people are social creatures. I also find that watching inspirational YouTubes, you can't not comparing yourself or anything, because you can't do that, because if you do, it's just gonna lead you down a rabbit hole of thoughts. But watching people that inspire you to get better, or that have a big something going for them after recovery, or reading an inspirational book. It doesn't even have to be about eating disorders, or maybe watching a funny comedy show, just something to distract your mind from thinking negative thoughts. Distraction really does help a lot of times, or even just getting out, like I said. So I've been trying to use distraction a lot when I'm eating now, just because I need something. Some people have to focus right on their food and just feel it go down, and they like to do that. And if that works for you, then that works for you. But I don't like thinking about it all the time, because it makes me too overwhelmed sometimes. So it's kind of easier to eat sometimes when I'm distracting myself. And even if it's just looking at some other people in their recovery eating with me, or maybe if it's watching a little TV show, or just reading a cool article about something I find interesting. But it really does help. And I do find journaling has really helped. I do tend not to journal as often as I should, but it does really help and get me out of that brain. And sometimes just listening to a little podcast that I like. But I have found, though, throughout everything, that if you continue to persist with your recovery and never give up, then you can recover. I've been here for 17 years, and I am never giving up. I've had many relapses, but through each and every one of those relapses, I have learned something, and I have grown, and I have become the person I have become. And I've also learned why I want to recover, whereas before I may have been recovering for other people. And sometimes I still feel like I want to recover for others more so than myself. I just know that I want it now more than ever. And you may not at first want your recovery. You have to have a reason why you want it before you really can make any progress. So set your reasons and your goals, and you can do this. Do not give up on yourself. Even if you have relapsed multiple times, please don't give up on yourself, because there is hope. There is hope for everyone. If there was hope for that one girl did it, then you can too. You just have to believe in yourself and just face your fears. But do it anyways. Face those fears. Just do it. No matter how much of a fear you have. Don't act on it. Feel it. Feel that fear inside. Keep it inside, but don't act on it. But basically, that's all I want to say for today. I hope everybody is doing well, having a good day. It's very rainy where I live. It's been downpouring all day. But I've been trying to keep myself positive. I have colored a lot. I really love adult coloring books, and they keep me sane and happy. And I just have played with my cats, who I love. But I hope everyone has a great day today, or a great night, whatever time zone you're in. And love you so much. Bye.